When should you use allegorical interpretation in the Bible? Imagine reading a story that seems to have layers beyond what's on the surface. Sometimes, the words in the Bible can be more than just literal stories. That's where allegorical interpretation comes into play. It's a way to see deeper meanings behind the words, especially when the text is symbolic or unclear. You should consider using allegorical interpretation when the literal meaning doesn't make sense or feels confusing. For example, if a verse sounds strange or doesn't fit with what you know about history or culture, it might be symbolic. Parables told by Jesus are a perfect example. They often use everyday stories to teach moral or spiritual lessons, but the real message is hidden in the symbolism. Another time to use allegory is when Old Testament events or figures seem to point to something in the New Testament. These are called typological connections. For instance, the story of Adam and Eve can symbolize more than just the first humans. It can representing the idea of sin and redemption that runs through the Bible. Recognizing these links helps us see how God's plan unfolds across different parts of Scripture. Allegorical interpretation is also helpful when you want to find moral or spiritual lessons that apply to your life today. Sometimes, a verse can have a surface meaning, but it also points to a bigger truth about faith, character, or God's nature. Using allegory allows you to see these lessons more clearly and make them relevant to your daily walk. However, it's important not to overuse allegory or force meanings into the text. Always check if the Bible itself hints at a symbolic meaning. Jesus often explained his parables, giving clues about their deeper significance. When you see a passage that is clearly metaphorical or poetic, allegorical interpretation can unlock its full message. In the end, allegorical interpretation should be used thoughtfully and selectively. It's a tool to deepen your understanding of Scripture's spiritual and moral layers. When combined with other methods like historical and grammatical analysis, it helps you see the Bible as a unified story of God's plan for salvation. This approach keeps your study balanced and respectful of the original message, making Scripture meaningful and relevant for today's world.